Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you're well. I'm here with Henrik, and then you know what time it is. It's time to talk about gear. And for you gearheads, I think we have something interesting in store. And but first of all, I always ask the guests, "How are you today, Henrik? You look like you've been in the sun, and that's nice when you're in Sweden."
Yeah, I'm well. We had at my work, we were sponsors on a golf tournament last Saturday, and I was in the sun from 9 till 5 p.m. And the wind was very chilly, so I tried to be in the sun all the time. So that's why I look like a crayfish in my face now. So the sun is really burning early in the spring here in Sweden when we are not used to the sun for 6 months. So it's really dangerous to be out in the sun too much.
Yeah, it's a shock to the system. I know that, and the sun is strong everywhere. I guess in spring, right? You're not used to it. Even here in Spain, you feel like it's more dangerous with the sun. But now, I mean, I'm supposed to play a ITF Masters tournament, and I've had two postponements in a row because of rain. So it's not the Marbella that I'm used to. but it's yeah, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow, third day, we get some play. Fantastic.
It's it's nice that you try to play some ITFs again. You are a good player. I know what you are capable of, and I hope you can bring it out in matches as well.
Yeah, I have my mental blocks. I mean, when I play a lot of matches, usually they disappear. But when you take a long break from match play and then suddenly you play a match, it's like your body is someone else's body. You're not like this is not me holding the racket. Like everything is tight. And when you start playing a lot of matches, even if then you're usually like breaking free. So I had to get back on the horse because like I can't just play one match or three matches and then stop playing. It's not good. You got to keep
Yeah,
playing.
it's very visible when I played the tournament in Marbella and I was beating a guy 6-1, 6-2 that you lost to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you and I play practice matches, I mean, we're almost dead even. So I know what you're capable of, and I hope you can bring it out in matches as well. So just keep on fighting, and it's all about the mental side. So keep
It is
on.
so. It is, and you have to bring more rackets. I don't have enough rackets in the bag usually, so it's like if you have more rackets, you will work it out. No, but yeah, you're 100% correct. Like it's tennis is a mental sport. You can be on paper a better player, and you know, and also sometimes in your head you think you're better than the other guy, but you're not in a match play. But in my case, it's a very mental usually thing that I tense up quite a bit. So it's something to work on for sure. But it's better to attack the demons than to let them stay there and win over you. So I think that's my next goal. But we'll see in this tournament. Might be a one match or two matches. We don't know. When did you last play an ITF, by the way?
Oh, it was. I can't even remember. I think it was pre-COVID down in Marbella. It was that was the toughest grade or like top grade before it was they changed the names of it to ITF Masters. But it was long. It was like 5 years ago now,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you need
So
to get back on those. I know you're doing so well in your tournaments. You haven't lost a match in like 36 matches or something. It's something crazy.
yeah, so I need to play some ITFs again, but it's difficult when I play like league in Austria. I have to take some vacation from work. And then I also have to take like 2 to 3 weeks off from work when it's Davis Cup, so I don't have that much time to go and play ITFs, unfortunately. So uh, when I'm not wanted anymore by the Davis Cup team, then I can go and play ITFs, but I hope that takes some time.
Yeah, and you did play the UTR as we talked about here in Spain, and I think the UTR should get a lot of credit for the system where that they have like guaranteed matches. So like if you're in the main draw, you have at least three matches. Even if it's like you lose all your matches, you get down to the seventh place playoff. So that's a great system because I think sometimes with these ITF seniors, it used to be called, now it's 30 plus or it masters these days. It's like if you're in a normal draw, you lose one match, you're out. Like you're playing like on the futures tour. I don't think that's good even for futures. I think they should adopt like the UTR system because it's like you get people traveling to a new country and then they lose one match and then they travel to another country where it's just like doesn't feel sustainable as a tennis as a sport.
Yeah, the UTR was wonderful. Unfortunately, it was raining. Yeah, it was like a serious red weather warning with floodings in Malaga, so it was serious stuff. But the final was postponed, so I had to withdraw from that tournament. Um, if they could like arrange it in a couple of days shorter, now it's almost like 1 week event. So let's say they would make people play 2 matches a day, that would be much better. And the format is perfect because, as you say, you get at least 3 matches. It's live on the internet, on YouTube, umpires, and it's a wonderful tournament for us amateur players to play. It's really, really good and very good format, and everyone is guaranteed to play if you don't lose in qualifying. That is.
Yeah, and I think that's a great system. So I hope to see more of that. ITFs are a little bit, they cost more to join as well. Like, so it's sometimes up to 80, 90 euros, which is a little bit much, and you play one match, hopefully two, but it's still like maybe not really value for money, I would argue. So good on the UTR and these tournaments, and it's a good competitor to the ITF, I would say. And you need that. So when it comes to your match play, today you played with a very funny racket. I mean, funny in a way that it's old and rare, but it's not a bad racket by any means. It's the Vacuum OS, like the oversized vacuum Fisher racket. Like, how old is this racket? From the 90s or something?
Yeah, I would say mid-90s or something like that. When I was starting to play tennis, I started pretty late when I was like 15, 16. And then I was ordering a lot of catalogs. That was pre-internet time. So I was ordering a lot of tennis catalogs from Fischer and Head, especially because I liked the Austrian-made stuff. And there was the Fischer Vacuum series, and it looked very good, very nice, very good quality. It was like a dream, but too expensive for me as a young boy. So I really never played with Fischer. But then I saw those two on, I think it was like a trading site from Austria, and I was getting them dead cheap. It was like 30 euros or something for 2 rackets with shipping, so it was like ridiculous cheap. And I tried them today, first time. One of them was strung with RPM Blast, pretty fresh. And I was measuring it in the RDC, and it was 64 RA sprung. It's also like a couple of millimeters shorter than a regular racket, so maybe 68.2 or something instead of 68.5 centimeters. And the swing weight was 341. And I don't know how long the strings has been in there, but it felt pretty fresh. And I was trying it today, and it was, I mean, it's pretty heavy, and I don't think I could use it for 2 hours, but I was playing with it maybe 30 minutes, and it was extremely solid, good control since it's 18 by 9, 1819 or 1820. It's pretty dense string pattern, and the beam is like 30 millimeters thick, so it's like a baseball bat, like the old Wilson hammers. And yeah, it was really, really nice to play with. It was very solid and a racket that I would say would work for a lot of players up to this day. So it's such an old racket can still deliver such a great performance, like 30 years old racket, and it's the same power, same spin, same control as a modern racket to the day today.
Yeah, I think if you go back in the day, I think you should go for a oversized racket overall, because I mean that's a pretty generalized comment, but still, like, the oversized rackets are more forgiving, but overall, historically, rackets are less forgiving when they're older, right? Like the forgiveness has increased with rackets over time, and if you get an oversized racket, you will still get good playability. While if you go for like mid-size, mid-plus size, they can have a very small sweet spot. But here, at least, you get a decent sweet spot. And the oversized rackets, since everything was focused on control back in the day, there were no like poly strings really, and it was all about controlling the ball and hitting a bit flatter. They are still like pretty dense patterns. So the pattern is not like a crazy open pattern like some rackets you have today. And I like that. I think like it's strange sometimes that we only do open 1619 on pretty much like all like recreational player or like beginner rackets and stuff like that, because I think most amateur players struggle to control a ball that's coming from 1619 very open. It's better to have maybe a bit denser pattern but still have a big head, kind of.
Yeah, I have couple, or I have like 7 of the candy cane oversized head rackets, and they are 18 by 19, and they are also, I mean, I have played league matches with them last year, and I could of course use them in competition play today as well. They were way ahead of their time and still works up until this day. So yeah, the old Austrian-made oversized rackets, they are if you find one cheap in like a flea market or eBay or other trading sites, just buy them because they are well worth their money. They are good quality. Could be a tricky time to find grommets, so try to find one with good grommet bumpers because you will not find a replacement for that one. But they are good, really good, and really fun and very effective rackets to use.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for old school oversized or like slightly larger head sizes. I mean, the 95s will be very difficult unless you're Francisco Cerundolo now, like going to, I guess it's the semifinals in Madrid. I haven't been watching a lot of Madrid action to move the topic over there. He plays with the PT57A, which I found quite fascinating, like 370 swing weight. And he shows that you can still use these older frames, but he is obviously a beast of a player, you know. So it's not maybe the best racket for the amateur player, but for him it works, and it works like 90s technology is still going strong on the tour, although there are fewer guys now than like 10 years back or 15 years back. Have you been watching anything?
Yes, a couple of games here and there. I saw just before we went onto this pod, I saw a couple of games of Draper versus um, Arnaldi.
Arnaldo, yeah.
It was 6-love in the first set to Draper. He played lights out, extremely powerful tennis, dominating using the high altitude, serving bombs, not giving Arnaldi a chance, but it was 2-all when I was forced to go into this podcast. And then I've been watching, I saw Fokina versus Zverev, pretty much all match, and it was really good. I think Fokina is, he has top 10 potential. If he could like control his game and keep it together for longer period of time and don't fall through so much or so much, he's falling through in some tight situations. He has the potential to be a top 10 player because he plays very athletic, very big, powerful, moves well, seems to have pretty good stamina, hits a very heavy ball. I think he has every tool in his toolbox to be a top 10 player. So I think he could be on the verge of a real breakthrough, that guy.
Yeah, he's a great player. He brings physicality. He's a good fighter. I think sometimes, yeah, as you say, his focus goes up and down, and that's what you see. Like, and you need to be like limiting those swings as a pro player if you want to be steady in that's top 10. Like the swings have to be very short, and sometimes he has longer swings. Like he drops his focus a little bit and drops a set or so, you know. So, but definitely huge potential. I think. I mean, with Sinner not ready to be back yet due to his suspension and Alcaraz being injured and Djokovic playing not good. Like he's, I think he was. I met his brother earlier at lunch, and he was training at Puente Romano, I think earlier today, but he pulled out of Rome, so he has some work to do before the French Open. So it leaves like a lot of openings for now these young guys like Mensik, Draper, Cerundolo, all these guys. You know, they can now go in and win a Masters because like all the top guys are kind of the usual title winners. They're kind of gone. You know.
Yeah. One thing I have to add to Fokina is that he's also seems to be a very good person because he's promoting a lot with the adoption of street dogs, I think.
Yep.
And I just have to give a shout out to that. That's a really nice and important thing he's doing for the dogs. And yeah, I like him very much for that as well. So 2 thumbs up from me to him for doing that work that he seems to be like really much into. So really, really great character in my eyes, at least.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard about that as well. He does like the shelters and stuff, and then Shapovalov also does some of that. So two Marbella guys. They are around here often. I see them often, but they're here training sometimes. So kudos for doing something, outside your tennis that is also benefiting others, whether it's animals or humans. That's good, because tennis players tend to be quite self-centered. So no offense to everyone who's listening, but it's like, if you're a pro player, you grow up in a little bit of a bubble usually, and everything is about your results, and of course that's easily leans into you becoming quite self-centered. So when you're doing these kind of initiatives, it's very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, how's your racket selection going? I got a question on Patreon from the members. You can become a member on YouTube or Patreon about your Blade 100 a customization, but that was a while ago. Then you kind of got into the Model 100 from Nordic Dots, which is one of your standard go-tos. So what are your go-tos now? It's like this Aero 98, Model 100. Is that kind of two rackets in your bags? Will you add something else? What are you testing?
We talked about the Blade 100 and to customize it, but I did actually customize it. I got them, customized them, and at the same time I got the Nordic Dots Model 100. And well, Nordic Dot Model 100 does like everything that the Blade does. They are somewhat similar in the beam shape, in the profile, but Dots does like everything what the Blade does, but better, and like a more pro stock feel. I need to lower the tension pretty much though with the Nordic Dots racket, as the sweet spot is smaller compared to the Wilson Blade, but the Wilson Blade feels much more like hollow, more like, I would not say like a toy because it's a good racket, but it doesn't have that same solid feel as the Nordic Dots Model 100, but it's still a very good frame. The Blade, it's a racket I could use as my main weapon as well. I would say that the version 8 is better than version 9. The version 9 is I like version 8 better, and the best was version 7. That was really solid. That felt almost like Pro Stock, very soft and rich feel, very solid. Love the paint job as well. But I'm playing a lot with the Model 100. I'm also using the Blade, the Pure Aero 98, and the Pure Aero is like it's a really good racket to use. It's very effective. It's really good spin. It's more spin in that one than the Pure Aero 100 because it's more open string pattern, even if it has one more string on the crosses. But the fun thing is, for example, today I was testing first the Fisher Oversize for 30 minutes. Then I was playing matches first to 10 points with a really good former D1 college girl and also WTA player. And when I'm like not tired, the Pure Aero 98 is really good racket. I play really good with it. But then let's say after maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, when I start to get some fatigue, I cannot control that racket. It's my swing starts to slow down, and I just can't control it. I miss it. I hit long. I'm not good enough player when I'm tired with that one, and then I'm changing to the Model 100, and I play really well. And that is how I've been doing in my tournaments. I've started the matches mostly with the Aero 98, and then when I'm starting to be tight or tired, I change to the Model 100 and win easy. But if I start with the Model 100, I tend to be like too passive. So I need to have like I know it sounds extremely strange to do these kind of changes, but for me it's been working. I have like a 30 match winning streak now since August last year, and it's been working, and I don't really care if it looks stupid or strange and people ask what the hell I'm doing. Those two rackets has been helping me a lot. The next project I have though is to try the head speed, the 2024 version, Speed MP Lite or L, because I tried the Speed MP and it was one of the best rackets of 2024. But the swing it can be a bit sluggish. often has the swing weight of over 330 strong, and it works very well in the beginning when you are like fit, but when you are starting to get some fatigue or tired, I cannot like perform with it because I'm not good enough in the long run with such a heavy swing weight. So I will try the MPL. It has a strong swing weight, I think, of around 315, so I can beef it up at least to like 325 or something, and also have it more to my desired specs. I will change the grip shape from the TK82S to a more. I will use some coach tape, sports tape, to have it more like the shape of the like a Wilson or Wilson or Babolat or Yonex, and see how it goes. I have two rackets coming my way tomorrow, so it will be nice to try them in the weekend to come now and see if that could be something as well.
Yeah, the speed. I have one still, Speed MP Lite. It's a very good stick, and I think we talked about this before, but if you're buying a new racket, it's always good to go for if it's the same specs otherwise, which in this case it is. Go for the lighter model because it leaves you room to customize. Okay, if you hate customization, don't bother about that. Get the model that seems on your spec range. But with quality control, and you can get and if you don't like a racket like 330 plus, which happened to me when I ordered some Speed Pros from the 2022. We both did this experiment, and like
Yeah.
one was 305 swing weight unstrung, which means strung it's 335, in most cases, and I used 125 string usually. Like I don't go thinner than that, and then I don't like a 335 racket. It won't. I will also get tired after 1.5 hours, and then I can't keep swinging it at the speed, and that's what happens. Like your swing speed goes down, and like you said with the racket like Air 98, then you start missing or you get weaker shots if with other rackets. So it needs to be your swing weight needs to be that you can actually be able to swing it also later in the match, or like you have two different rackets. Good idea, I think.
Yeah, which is pretty unique, I would say, but whatever works. Um, I cannot say whatever pays the bills because tennis don't give me any real money. So it's just nice to win matches, and this combination really helps me to win matches.
Yeah, and the Model 100 is good. It's a very solid frame. It plays best at lower tensions, I would say. So that's really helps. I've also had like obviously an affair with the Air 98, and it's one of those rackets that it's like some drug. You can't stop playing with it because it's so fun. And I find it interesting that you start the matches with that one because it kind of gives you like an injection of energy because you have to swing fast with that one to control the ball. And if you start slowing down your swing, the balls go, right? They start sailing because you're contacting it too late or too close to the body, and that's not working at all with that racket. So, but it kind of forces you to be on your game in the beginning, and then once you get tired, maybe it gets difficult to use. Like for the pros, of course, not a problem. If we see many pros like Tsitsipas, now Bublik is playing with it as well. It's one of those rackets that's just like a modern classic, and I can understand why players want a bit more help. But yeah, you need to stay on top of your swing speed, otherwise you're gonna start missing long. It's very easy.
Yeah, I think that in like 20 years from now, the Pure 98 or Pure VS that it is that most of them are using, it will be a modern classic. It will be a racket that is very sought after in the used section and eBay and stuff like that. It will be a collector's item, I would say. So very valuable, I think, in the future. It's a great racket, one of the most effective, and if you can play with it for a long time, yes, congratulations, because today it's difficult to find like a more effective racket on the market, in my opinion.
Yeah, that still swings pretty fast and with some control. It has that kind of beautiful blend, and it creates an annoying ball. And pretty much everyone you play say that you hit a better ball with that racket because it's more annoying to play against. And it's like I've handed it to players, weaker players than me, and then I notice that the shots are more annoying to deal with, even if they have a slower swing speed. It's just like kicking up on you. So they've done some 98 magic with that one. Like I've got to give Babolat kudos, and I'm very curious for next year when they update it to see what they've done, because it's tough to update something that's selling so well. And I think that kind of brings it back to the Blade 98, because Blade 98 has always, since it came out, kind of been like this icon in the Wilson line. I think it overtook the pure pro staff, especially now that Federer ended his career. And the Blade 98 is a classic, but I agree with you. The V7 had this like long dwell time, especially after the V6, just a beautiful racket. V8 was also very good. I liked V8 a lot. I have now revisited the V9. I am struggling a little bit more with the V9. I don't know. There's something. I play pretty okay with it, but it's like it's not as nice to hit with as the V8, in my opinion. It's like it looks great. Quality control seems excellent compared to the older blades, but it's just not as nice on impact as the V7 and V8, I would say.
That's correct, and was the same for me, especially with the version with the 100 version. The V8, one of the best rackets I've ever tried, ever played with. I sold, I had 5 of them, and I sold them to Daniel Wendel, El Pistolero on Instagram, a very well-known racket collector and racket connoisseur. And I regret that I sold them, because that's a racket I think I could still use today. So it's yeah, also a great racket.
Yep. Yeah, there are many, and that's kind of like a balanced racket. And yeah, so Air 98, we're still kind of playing with that one. I'm playing also with the ISO 98, trying to grow with the new ISO 98. I think that's a great frame. Just trying to find a string and stuff like that. We did get, like, there's not that many rackets coming out now. It's a bit of a pause after a crazy January. It's been insane. I would like to try the Ripstick 98 from Prince. That would be a fun racket to try. I don't know if that's going to happen in the near future. But we did get like the new boom with the raw boom, which is like an organic boom. It has this waste product materials to make it more environmentally friendly, like PET bottles and stuff, and waste products in the carbon is made out of that. So it's like a bio racket. And you didn't play it side by side, but what was your feeling when you played with the Boom Raw MP?
Uh, I would say that it feels much more. It's a softer feel. Um, even if the flex, if the RA is not that big difference, I think it's the raw was like 63 strung RA, and I think the regular boom was like 64, 65 or something. But the regular boom MP feels much more crisp. It feels like it's more. It feels strange to say maybe life in it, because we are talking about an organic made racket, so it's more life in the organic, but the Boom MP feels more like alive, and the Boom Raw was more muted. Very soft racket, very like it was a very soft feel overall. And I would say for a racket in that kind of category, I would prefer a little bit more crisp feel. So it was not the type of racket that I would like go and use. Even if I really like the concept, it would be nice to have it in like maybe have a raw radical or something like that. But the idea is very good, very interesting, and for someone that's not like testing rackets all the time, maybe they don't even feel the difference between the regular boom and this boom, because it still plays like we're talking like very small differences, and it's a playable racket, of course, and the difference is not that big. Bit more muted, bit more soft, and the regular boom more crisp, I would say.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing when I was playing more and more with them. Adri tried it with me, Coach Adri, a good player, and he liked the softer one. Actually, he liked that more. He tends to enjoy soft rackets. He plays with the Model 100. Otherwise, but he used to play with Done and soft rackets, right? And this one he liked more. But for me, it felt like for a power racket, I always struggled with the concept of the boom, even the standard boom being like a power racket, because to me it feels like a more of a comfort racket in a way, like especially the Boom MP. The Boom Pro is a little bit more of like a advanced player racket. It has a little bit more crispness with a smaller sweet spot, smaller string bed, smaller head size, tighter string bed. And this one, it's a little bit lively and maybe a bit soft, but it's great for the recreational club player. It's like an awesome racket because it's a bit more soft on the arm. You still get some pop, but I do miss the instinct at times in that case, like that kind of more stiff frame. That head now, right? They don't really have that now anymore. If they remove the instinct, this is the last iteration, and it's not available in most places, I would say. Then you know, what is their power frame? Like what is going to compete with the Pure Drive and the Ultra and the E-Zone? That's the question.
Yeah, I would say it's a Boom.
Yeah.
That would be their power racket. But also the Extreme. The Extreme is okay. It's the Extreme these days are actually very controlled. A controlled like spin racket, I would say. But the Boom is their power racket. I think they could make like the Boom MP even more powerful. Um, it's the Auxetic 2.0 makes it very muted, so it's not that crisp that people would maybe like a powerful racket. So I would hope they could make like the next generation of Boom like even more powerful in the MP version, because if you want control, Head has extremely many more options. They have like the speed, they have the gravity, they have hopefully the prestige if they are really launching it for 2025. They have radical, so control is something Head has a really many silos of, so they need something really powerful as well. So make Boom more powerful and really makes it shine for its name like Boom. It should be more power,
Yeah,
more extreme power.
I agree. I think that makes sense. I think maybe that's what we'll see in the next edition of Boom, but who knows? Yeah. So Instinct is out. You did try, I think, the Technifibre T-Fight 300, or did I dream that you played with that racket? The
Yeah,
100
I
square
played
inch.
with it a couple of times now. On the first hit on the clay for this year, I tried it down in Skummeslöv. A bit light swing weight. I have not modified it anything yet. I think the swing weight was, do you remember what I said? 320-ish,
Yeah,
something?
320. I think mine was 320 spot on as well. Yeah. So
Yeah, something like 320. And I strung it with the 4S string from Technifibre. In my opinion, they're by far best string. Really aggressive string, a black string, really good tension maintenance and good bite in the ball. And I played really well with it. Got some sensation in my elbow though. I don't know if it was because it was really cold and I was hitting the ball very hard with it. So I had to give it some more time. But it was a really pleasant surprise, and it was the best Technifibre by far that I have tried. It's a racket I could also consider to switch to. I will not switch to it because I cannot play with the grip shape of Technifibre. It's too extreme. But it's a really, really good racket. Very solid, easy to use, good spin, good control. It does everything really good. A really, really good racket from Technifibre, but they have to make something about their grips. It's the difference is too big compared to other brands, and I don't know why they are sticking with such an extreme grip shape, actually.
yeah, I mean, I did talk to them about that on the podcast. I did talk to Carousel last week's podcast. And yeah, he also raised that topic. Yes, of course. I mean, he's a pro player. He got his rackets customized, by DC Customizing in Belgium. And yeah, I think most pros, of course, they will get it is shifted to their what brand they come from. But for us, happy amateurs, it's not like so cost friendly to like have to go to like a customizer and change all your grip shapes. It's not really something you do, right? Unless you decide to play with this racket for 5 years and you buy 4 of them or whatever. But yeah, it's something I hope they consider. It didn't sound like they would consider it, but maybe now that they're seeing more and more sales of the T fights and maybe they're getting more feedback about the grip and maybe that will help them change their mind for the next edition of the Technifibre rackets, whatever that is. Could be the TFX1 or the TF40. But because otherwise the rackets are good. Like I think they're onto something. So it's sad if you can't choose them because of the grip. Feels like a stupid thing, like feels like unnecessary. So we'll see. But I agree. I
Yeah.
like the T Fight 300 as well.
it would be possible to change the grip shape with some sports tape, the white coach tape. Just add it on the other sides of like the top and bottom, or like from 3 to 9, and on the same side if you turn it around, then it would be more like a regular grip shape. So maybe I will try that one as well, because it was really a pleasant surprise. That racket played really well, and I think it would be worth the time. I don't know if I can keep it any longer, but if I can, I will try to modify the grip as well, because it's really a really good racket.
Yep.
Surprisingly good.
Completely agree. Completely agree. So what's next on your calendar? Like you now, you have of course the Speed MP Lights and stuff, but you have league matches coming up. You're going. Is it Austria you're playing, or are you playing both Austria and Germany now?
No, not Germany, because I have such a low, like the German rating is so low. They have something called LK,
Yep.
and like a pro player has LK1, and then amateur has like LK25 or something. And since I haven't played that much matches in Germany, I have like LK19 or something, which means I play like the last singles against players that I beat 6 love, 6 love, and it's not fun for me, it's not fun for them. Um, and so I will play in Austria instead for a team in Hall, Schönegg, in the outskirts of Innsbruck. So I will play the men's 35. It's called Landesliga Tirol. It's the second division in the men's 35 in Austria. So I will play 2 matches there, and I will also on the same weekend, the day after, I will play for their men's team as well. So I will get like 2 doubles and 2 singles, and I will go down in May and June. So 2 trips down there. A lot of tennis, a lot of car driving in the Alps, a lot of schnitzels, some beers as well. So it's just nice. It's like a tennis holiday. It's no money involved. I have to pay everything myself. So it's just pure like holiday, tennis holiday. It's beautiful. I really longing to go down there and play.
Yeah, it's nice when you can go and play and enjoy it, you know. And like in a team setting, if you have good teammates as well, it's like nice to have a beer afterwards and some nice food, you know. So it makes tennis a lot more enjoyable. The social setting, sometimes we miss it a bit in tennis, gets super competitive, and like that's what they gain in paddle and pickleball. It's like it's naturally more social, while in tennis feels like a sometimes a little bit of an isolated sport. But in these team tournaments, I think that is a little bit more of a community, you know. So we don't have them really that much in Spain, sadly. Like it's more there's interclub where you play other clubs, but it's not like an official league that you play. At least not here in Marbella. So that's something that would be more fun in the future if they had more like this kind of clubs versus clubs, like we do in Sweden, you know, for example. What's happening in Sweden then? When are you back on the clay, or is it still too cold?
No, we have opened the clay like last week or something like that in my area. So I have been playing. I was down in Skummersdöv outside of Båstad and played 2 sessions on the Easter holiday. And then I played 2 times on clay on Tuesday this week, and then a 2 hour session today. And then I will go down to Båstad this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and play on Båstad Spot Center, where you and me had some sessions last year and
Nice.
recorded a lot of videos. So I will play there, and then I will try to play a couple of times each week now until the first league match in Austria. But there are no tournaments until like June here. It's not that many tournaments anymore for seniors and like adult players. It's either like junior tournaments or money tournament for semi-pro players, and they are too young and too good for me.
Yeah, I know that's the issue sometimes when you want to play as you know, a senior player, but it's like you're not, you know, like hopeless against these like lower level players on like the competitive circuit, but it's like it's tough to find you like a good category to play in, you know. Like you need senior tournaments, you know. And then sometimes there's not we still have a few here, but and the UTR system is great. I wish maybe that was more international, that you find these kind of UTRs everywhere with based on your level, because I think that could be a solution, you know, that people Because in tennis you have to play with guys on your similar level, otherwise it's not that much fun. There has to be if you play someone too good, not fun. You get like a bicycle, or if you got a few games maybe, and if you're playing someone that's not on your level, then it's also too easy and it's not like that enjoyable. So it has to be within the same level.
Absolutely. And the UTRs where you see like the universal tennis rating level, it's really correct. You can really understand the level of the player, and it works so good. It's fantastic, and I hope they should use it more, much more in the world, because it's the best tennis rating in my opinion, the most fair, and really fun concept. So more UTR for the tennis community.
Yeah, and we need an international system because, as you said, with LK in Germany, and then you have a different system in Sweden, and they have a different system in Italy, and it's impossible. You need to like be able to have a large table to translate when you play different opponents from different countries. So it's like it's better to have one system, whether it's ELO or UTR, or how it's done. But you need one system to have an idea of how to set up tournaments. It's not always about measuring the levels with other people. It's about like, okay, I'm gonna play in this tournament because that's my level and that's more fun.
Yeah, if I should have like for example in Germany, if I should translate my Swedish level to the German LK system, I would be maybe LK 7 or something like that. And now instead because I don't play any matches there, I'm LK 19, and it's not fun, it's not fair. You should use your like one, or like the ATP or ITF points for everyone all over the world. They should have something for the amateur tennis as well. So it would be much better, and you can use it and play against like your real level in each and every country. That would be much better.
Yeah, 100%. So in terms of shoes now, like my final question here is that what are you using in terms of shoes? You don't bring 6 pairs of shoes to the tennis court, I hope. It's more like
No, yeah, no, 6 shoes, that's too little. I bring like 8, 12 pairs. No, I'm just kidding. With shoes in the indoor season, I was using the Eclipse 5 from Yonex, a fantastic shoe. I had a lot of praise for the GP Challenge 1 from Nike, but by some strange mean, I got some problems in my right heel, or the tendon there, and it stopped immediately when I changed the shoe to a different brand. And I think it has something to do with it's like a bit of a curve in the back part of it. Really good shoe in each and every
Oh, you mean the
category
GP
except
Challenge?
for that one. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't use it anymore. But the Eclipse M5 I've been using, and I also tried the Gel Resolution X from ASICS. Also a really good shoe in my opinion. I have heard a lot of players that are not so satisfied with it, but for me it works really well. The only downside is that I have to like retighten the laces a lot of the time, because it's came or comes loose quite often, so I have to like retightening them. But overall, a good shoe. It's really a much better fit for me with the wider forefoot. Very solid. It plays really nice. So that's the Eclipse 5 and the Gel Res X is my shoes on hardcourt. Now on the Swedish so-called clay, I can send you a photo so you can see how coarse the Swedish type of clay is. So I use like a totally worn out Gel Resolution 8 shoe. It's like almost like a carpet shoe now, and then I can somewhat slide on our like a gravel shale court. Um, and then I will get some shoes to try that we will make like a video of in Båstad this summer, with different types of clay soles, or soles for clay. And it's the RS Legacy version 1 from Robin Söderling. It has a pretty shallow herringbone pattern. And then I also got the Eclipse 5 from Yonex with their special type of clay pattern. It's almost like AstroTurf shoe, or like a grass court shoe. It looks pretty strange, to be honest, but you have played it with success a lot of matches now.
Yeah, the
And
Eclipse 5, the clay one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Yonex Eclipsion fan. Like, I still, like, I'm so worried about. It's funny that you mentioned that something pops up, you know. And I've had lots of shoes on test now. I had a long period where I don't like, even accept shoes for review. Yeah, because I'm worried that I will get foot pain or you know, ankle soreness or something strange. And usually I'm a pretty healthy guy overall. So I have had now all the Nikes, Nike Vapor 3, the Nike Vapor 12, Vapor Pro 3, Vapor 12, and the Challenge 1. Challenge 1, my favorite. It's something I can wear to the gym. I wore it the other day when I just went to the grocery store, whatever. I like it. It's just a super comfortable shoe. But with all Nike shoes, for my foot at least, I get some soreness. Like, it's like underneath the foot, which I never get anywhere. I think it's like something. The rubbers feel very hard. You know, I don't know how, if I need like 12 hours break-in or 20 hours, or I don't know, but it feels very hard, these new shoes. So it's maybe something with my foot or maybe something with the shoe. I don't know, but it's not been working out. Like, for me, if I play even like 2 hours on the hard court with the Vapors, either or, you know, I feel it, you know, I feel it. And then I go back to my Eclipse Force, which is my standard shoe. I still like the Force. I have a bunch of pairs of those. Five is a better shoe in many cases, but four is kind of perfect for my foot, I guess. And then I'm like, okay, I'm back to normal. I gotta give kudos also to the Diadem B Elite, not Diadem. I say that all the time. It's Diadora. I never tried a Diadora shoe before. Diadora B Elite Star. That was a really cool, like Italian leather shoe. It looks more like a sneaker shoe in a way, but that was with good comfort. I like that shoe. That was an excellent shoe, actually. So they should have kudos for that. But yeah, Nike has not been working out for my foot, except that the GP Challenge 1 is just like on paper, like the best shoe. Like, on the just putting your foot into it, feels like this is the best tennis shoe ever, you know. But then when you're moving aggressively on certain courts, it might be a little bit loose, a little bit soft, you know.
Yeah. And I also got the do you remember when Wilson had the Rush Pro up until version 3.5, when they have like their all court shoe was like a modified herringbone pattern? Do you
Yeah,
remember that
yeah,
one?
I remember that one. Yeah.
And then they, for version 4 or 4.5, they were making it like in straight lines instead,
Mm-hmm.
the outsole. I like the old shoe a lot for the clay, but Wilson still has that type of pattern for the Rush Pro Ace, like a somewhat cheaper shoe. But I got one from Wilson to try with the all court pattern, and in my opinion, it's like I cannot notice any difference between that one and the regular Rush Pro. And I'm a heavy guy, but it still plays like it feels the same, almost a bit more comfortable, almost. And it has this old type of all court sole, so that one is the one I'm using, like if I'm playing competitive now on the clay, the Rush Pro Ace. So a big thumbs up to Wilson for that shoe because it's quite a good price on that one as well. So try that one if you don't want to have like this super aggressive clay pattern that really digs into the clay. You have to be like a really good mover, a really experienced slider on clay. Otherwise, it's easy to get stuck and twist your ankle. So try that sole because it's enough grip for the clay and it's easier give to slide with that one. So, but we will have a video of it this summer to explain the differences in the different type of clay patterns because it's an important thing that people often don't think about.
Yeah, that's great. That's a topic we should get into closer. Yeah. So, as you know, if you followed the channel for a bit, like, we do a Båstad Swedish Open trip every year, and now it's become a 2-year tradition so far. It's going to be a 3-year tradition, and it's a great tournament, beautiful surroundings, and we can actually play ourselves. I get bored if I watch tennis for 3 days and I don't hit balls, you know.
Yeah, and this year Rafa is not there. It will be more tennis for us.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will can do some interviews with some of the pro players there in the men's week. Talk about gear and talk about some different topics of being a pro or maybe doing a bag check or something like that. So it will be a lot of good content coming up from that week, I would say.
Yep, that's the goal. Hopefully, weather stays nice to us. I've had a nasty relationship with the weather in Spain in this winter, so hopefully it's good then in Swedish Open. But I fingers crossed. You also have the A6. you got a new shoe and a new T-shirt from APC. It's called APC, right?
Yeah, it's to be honest, I don't know what APC is for brand. Maybe it's like saying I don't know what Louis Vuitton or Prada is. I have no
No, I
idea.
don't think
It's
it's that famous, but it's I didn't know about this brand either. Sorry, APC.
no, no
But
offense, but I'm not that into fashion gear.
yeah,
So I got the shoe, the Solution Speed, with the APC logo on it, and also a t-shirt and some socks. Really good quality, a bit different fit that I'm used to though. They are rethinking the tennis design a bit, so I will try it and see how it feels. But it's nice with some collabs and um, yeah, bringing brands together like Hydrogen did with Prince for a while.
that was cool. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
so
don't even
it
know
will
where
be
this
nice to
brand
try.
is from, but they don't do sports clothes, I guess. Otherwise, or maybe they do. Sorry for everyone who's like a fashion icon and I'm a complete noob, but it's it's not a brand that was on my radar. Most of the collaborations, you know the brand, you're like, okay, that makes sense, you know. But here, I don't really know it. So, but they seem to have a little bit of everything. They're maybe more in golf. I don't know. It's APC Golf here on the website. Try to check for some information. They are not the cheapest stuff, to be fair. Quite expensive. So, yeah. But the APC, the shoe is the ASICS shoe. It's just like the APC logo on it. So it's not like an APC product, right? It's like the ASICS.
It is the
Yeah.
ASICS. The A in the APC logo is the ASICS logo.
Yeah.
So it's totally cola. You have to roast us in the comments and tell us what kind of brand this is because we don't know.
No.
Sorry, we are old.
It's founded in Paris, 1987 by Jean Toltou. Atelier de production et de création. Okay, that's really bad French. Sorry. Offers timeless, long-lasting pieces. Okay, so it's been around since 1987. It shows how much I don't know, and I should stick to tennis maybe. But
Yeah,
Musetti is playing well with it, no matter how it looks. It's he's playing well with it. So you gotta give it. I love watching Musetti. He's a cool guy.
yeah, he's really cool. He's have made some modifications to his serve as well.
Yes,
It's
quite
like more,
a big one. Yeah.
yeah, going more straight up,
Yep.
not so big. Yeah, it's more like it's not. I would not say a rushed motion, but it's more like cut off. Less margin for errors, and yeah, he's been playing well with it. So whatever works.
Yeah, I always thought that movement. I discussed it also with Nikola Racic from Intuitive Tennis. Like, and I said we talked about it earlier. It's like it's something I've seen people do and players who have like elbow issues because you limit the movement of your arm so much. You just do the shorter the motion, the more control you have of the motion. It's kind of more common on the WTA tour, I would say. Like, I mean, it's not super common, but you have seen it that the arm is up like more straight, and it seems to be working. I would guess it's a little bit of an elbow saver compared to a regular serve. Most pros I talk to who have issues with their arm, which is many pros have arm issues and have to take painkillers when they play tennis. Is the serve that is where they have the most pain. That's from what I heard. I mean, I also players with one-handed backhands are more prone to elbow issues than double-handed because on the one-hander you use the elbow and the forearm more than you do with the double-hander. So serve and one-handed backhand is usually the elbow killers in a way. Cool, man. All right. So really nice talking gear with you and other things, and I really look forward to hanging out in Boston, playing some tennis and having some beers after tennis. It's the best.
Yeah, we have our base in Halmstad, and Båstad is not so easy to find hotels during that week. But Halmstad, we had a really good Indian cuisine there last
Yep.
year, and some nice pizzas and pastas and good beers and hamburgers. And I'm really looking forward to it. It will be really nice meeting you again and playing some tennis and eating some good food.
That's always the vibe. That's the vibe. Tennis is not all about hitting the ball, but you do burn some calories, which is a nice bonus. So you can then eat something that is probably not good for you, but it's nice. Life is short. So yeah, looking forward to that. We'll talk gear soon, guys. Listening here, if you have questions for Henrik or me or something we should talk about in the next Gear Talk podcast, put them in the comments on YouTube or send them on Instagram or whatever, and I'll write them down and we'll deal with them next time. It's nice to have some audience interaction. So thanks for listening and thanks for putting your comments and questions to me and Henrik. That's it for today. Thanks, Hank, for joining as always. Have a nice day, and
Thank you. Don't forget to play some tennis.
that's it.